Shields up, Ironbreakers. Rurikhan here coming at you with another video, and today we're once again going to be talking about Light No Fire. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with this game, this is a brand new game that was announced during the Game Awards 2023. It is being worked on by Hello Games, which is the same team that is currently behind the development of No Man's Sky, which is a fantastic game in its own right at this point. And it is hands down one of the titles that I'm the most excited for in 2024. Now, I've already made a video talking about this game. I do a super deep dive into every single thing we see in the trailer itself, as well as all of the publicly available information for the game, and even some speculation as to why I believe that the release date of this game is actually a lot closer than what people are currently thinking. Now, naturally, me being super hyped about this game means that I'm going to be making more and more content about the game, and I'm definitely going to be doing coverage on the game. But one of the things that I've noticed, not just in my own videos, but also in other videos that I've seen from the community and discussion around social media and all of that stuff, is that a lot of people don't really have a whole lot of faith in this whole fully generated procedural Earth, which is understandable because a lot of you guys, you jumped into No Man's Sky when it originally released, and you've seen that not everything that was being promised by Hello Games was delivered. However, on the flip side, I would also like to say that, since then, the team has definitely been working a whole lot on No Man's Sky, and in the state that the game is today, it actually delivers far more than they've ever even promised initially with their game. Now, does that make it okay? Does that mean that, the team is forgiven and all is good? That is going to change from person to person. I'm not here to try and absolve Sean Murray and Hello Games of their sins. That is not the point that I'm getting at. I am here to talk about the technology, because one of the things that I've definitely noticed in a lot of comments and social media posts is people question the validity of a fully seamless open world, a simulation of Earth, so to speak, like, full-fledged, one-to-one scale, all of that stuff. And they're like, I don't believe that there's not going to be any loading screens. I don't believe that this is going to be the case. There's definitely going to be something that you're going to have to load in and all of that jazz. Now, me, on the other hand, I've said, from what I've played so far of No Man's Sky, I believe that Hello Games is one of the teams that has the biggest mastery over procedural generation, simply because of everything that they've done with that game. And that is actually something that I would like to show you here today on video, so that you have an understanding as to why I say the things that I do. So, right here you can see that we are in No Man's Sky. Now, right now, I don't even know what system I'm on. It's not particularly relevant, but the idea is a lot of people are saying like, oh, I don't believe that there's going to be like a fully generated Earth without any loading screens or anything like that. And to that, I would just show you guys like, listen, this isn't even just a generated Earth. This is straight up a fully generated solar system. I don't know exactly how many planets are in this system. I haven't played the game in a good while, but I can just show you guys. I'm just going to jump into this planet right here. Notice that there is no loading screen. I mean, you can consider this to be a loading screen, but we're not really loading. We're on the ship. We can stop at any minute, and boom, now we're here. We're jumping off, and there was like this random object that we found in space, which is a spaceship. I don't really think that like the pulse engine counts as a loading screen, but people again might have different opinions on that. This is just to simulate like the distance between the planets. You're going to have to go like in a supersonic mode to actually get to some of these planets. It's going to take us about 15 seconds to get there. And again, notice that there are other things loading in space, and at any point in time I can stop and you can look around and hey, look, even some ships warped in right here. So again, I wouldn't consider this to be a loading screen, but some people are going to disagree with that. But anyways, we're going to jump into this planet. Right? This is mostly for people that aren't familiar with No Man's Sky, because a lot of people will already be familiar with this. But like, okay, so now we're on the planet, right? We're right on the edge of it. We're kind of like orbiting a little bit. And it's like, the thing about this planet is that there are going to be no loading screens whatsoever. The closer you get to the to the planet itself, you're going to start seeing more detail about all of the things that are in the planet. You're going to start seeing detail about the planet itself. You're going to see like, different structures. There's going to be animals. There's even going to be, actual man-made structures. And I mean, depending on the planet, some planets don't actually have any life or don't actually have any like human presence or anything like that, right? But this entire planet is procedurally generated, and if you want to, you can traverse the planet from one end to another. Like, for instance, let's say you use one of the, I mean, you can straight up just go down there and build like a reference point. You can start building up a base or something like that, right? And then you can just go around the planet and there are no loading screens. Like, I can even just straight up exit the planet itself, get some distance, and then if we look on down, right, there was no loading screen for me to come into outer space. And now I can just like navigate this planet and go all the way around it. And again, at any point in time, you can dive right back into the planet, go from space into the planet itself. Man, this planet's got some really tall mountains, by the way. And boom, we're at this spot. No loading screens, no nothing. And again, this is like a whole solar system. So at any point in time, I can also just like exit this planet. And now we can go like, okay, let's find another place to go to. There's another planet right there. We can go over here. There's even a space station there. We're going to actually go to that planet. And then from that planet, we're going to go into the space station. Hopefully, I don't have any... Please tell me I don't have any illegal material in my ship. Okay, we're clear. Good. Because I don't really feel like engaging in combat right now. We're just trying to make a point here. It's going to take us another 10 seconds to get there. And again, I understand that whenever you're traveling in space, some people might consider this to be a loading screen. It is not. You can manually come this way without using your pulse boost. It's just going to take you hours. You know, in some situations, maybe even days. Who knows? Because nobody's at... I mean, I'm definitely not going to be checking that. But it is possible to do. That is the point that I'm positing to. So once again, we can go to this other planet and we can land here if we want to. So we just went from one planet to another. Notice that these have completely different biomes, the two planets that we've been to. Now, the biggest leap that they are making when it comes to going from No Man's Sky to Light No Fire is that currently in No Man's Sky, as far as I'm aware, planets all have the, you know, each planet has their biome and they only have one biome. So for instance, this planet's biome is all going to look like this, right? And by the way, remember how I told you that you would even find structures? Like, you can just straight up exit here. Like, just realize the technology present. That's kind of like the main point of this video, right? We went from one planet to another. We landed. I forget, how do I leave the ship? Square. We leave the ship, no loading screens, and you can go straight inside this structure here, and there's going to be like some nanites that we can extract from here. You can go inside this building. Again, no loading screens whatsoever. Bada bing, bada boom. And from here, we can just... I can't believe I actually said that. That's so dumb. Bada bing, bada boom. From here, we can just straight up, you know, take off once again. And let's actually locate the space station that we saw earlier. Is that the space station? No, that's another planet. Where was the space station? I think that's the space station, yeah. So we're going to go straight into the space station. This is, again... I know that No Man's Sky players are going to look at this like, what are you trying to prove, bro? And it's like, this is not for you guys. You guys are already familiar with this. This is for people that aren't familiar with No Man's Sky. Notice spaceships loading in, which, by the way, you can straight up go inside some of those spaceships because there's going to be carriers, there's going to be frigates that you can go ahead and recruit. But again, we're going to go in here. And this is a space station. You can go inside, conduct trades, do all of these different things. And just notice, once again... no loading screens whatsoever. And this is one of the reasons why, to me, what this team is presenting, as in, we're going to make a seamless Earth, it's a no-brainer. They already have the technology. The biggest thing that they haven't done yet is introduce multiple biomes into one planet. But we already have multiple biomes without a loading screen in the same system, in the same space system. So... what kind of a really big deal is that, right? And then, you know, there are situations where a loading screen may be required, and these situations are going to be when you need to do travel. So let's say, for instance, you're on one side of the planet, right? And let's say that you have a teleporter that goes to the exact opposite side of the planet. I think it's only reasonable to expect that in a situation like that, you're going to have a minor load. So let me show you how they handle that in No Man's Sky. This, by the way, is in the PlayStation 5 version of No Man's Sky. But let's say, for instance, this is my base. Let's actually see if we can see, you know, maybe other player bases. Maybe I can show you something a little bit more creative. They have like the featured ones. No, they don't have featured ones right now. There was a recent update to the game, so I don't know if maybe some of that is missing, because they used to have like these featured bases that you could go and watch. Let me see if I can go over here. And so this would be your loading screen to like teleport from one end of the world to the other. But again, you can just walk there, you know, but if you want to go fast, if you want to like actually go there in a reasonable time frame, you know, a little bit of a load is to be expected. Again, this is PlayStation 5, and on top of it, this is a base that I haven't come to in a really long time. So some hiccups are to be expected. Damn, this is taking way longer to load than I expected, but here we are. Oh, this is not a base. This is where I marked the position of where you can get my ship, because the community wanted to get a ship that looked like mine. So I just marked where I got my own. But yeah, as you can see, we're now in a completely different planet, completely different star system, all of that jazz. I was hoping that there was actually going to be a base in here, but there isn't. However, I do have a base in here, which means that potentially... I don't remember how to do a lot of this stuff. How do you access the build menu? Ah, whatever. Basically, the point is, look, they have the technology. The question here is, how are they going to introduce stuff like the RPG progression systems, which they also have in the game, by the way, because, like, for instance, if we go over here, let's once again go into a different space station this time so that I can show you guys another feature, which is, you know, the RPG progression and all of that stuff. Let me just move a little bit further away from the planet so that I can go ahead and summon the space anomaly. So this is a portable hub that you can summon at any given time. And this just takes you straight up into a multiplayer hub, which is another thing that people are going to be like, oh, but can they introduce multiplayer? Like, look, I just summoned up this hub, going inside the hub, no real loading screen. This is just like a landing process. And as you see those ships up ahead of me? Those are other players right there. If we actually step outside, we are now in a multiplayer area, and you will see that, like, those dudes that just landed, yeah, see, that's a player, and that's a player, and that's another player right there, and that's another player. Like, I realized that at the beginning, you know, No Man's Sky didn't really feature seamless multiplayer, but, like, it's just as easy as this. By the way, these players, this is cross-platform. That means that these dudes can be on PC. This guy is actually on PC because you can see he's got the symbol of mouse and keyboard. How about this dude? This dude's on PlayStation, and there might even be like some Xbox players around. I'm not exactly sure what symbol they give to Xbox players. But anyway, yeah, right now we're in a multiplayer hub. It is very easy to interact with these players, to invite them to groups and all of that stuff. And once you leave the hub, you can choose which zone you're going to be in. You're going to be in your own system or the other player's system. You can basically have a conversation with them and sync it up. But as I was saying, what about progression? How are they going to be handling progression? Again, this is something they've already solved in No Man's Sky. Like right here, you'll notice that we have these dudes that we can interact with, which these are already like a whole bunch of different progression trees that you can go through. Like this right here is just exocraft upgrades. So this is something that you go through like a technology tree, and you unlock all of these different upgrades for vehicles. And in this specific case, these are just like land vehicles. We're not even talking about ships, because there's other progression systems. Like in here, you have progression systems for your weapons, I think, because it says multi-tool research. So I'm assuming we can like get some upgrades. Yeah, as you can see, you get like some stuff in here, like a shield, like a friggin' optical drill, like a bunch of weapon upgrades. So even RPG progression systems we already have, okay? And you can upgrade your ships, you can do all of these crazy things. So it's just like, I think that a lot of the people that are jumping into the Light No Fire discussion, like they might have spent like, I don't know, friggin' a couple of hours playing the original release of No Man's Sky, and they're like, oh, we have no faith in this team. And it's like, I just want you guys to understand, I think that's a healthy approach. Do not get super hyped for Light No Fire. But as somebody that has played the current iteration of No Man's Sky, I have full faith in what this team can deliver when it comes to that title. And I want to make that perfectly clear because a lot of people are going like, oh man, Rurikhan's getting like all hyped up over nothing. I don't even believe that they can make like a seamless Earth. For me, it's like I have no doubt that they can make a seamless Earth. My biggest question is all of the other things, like how are they going to generate quests, which again, quests are already present in No Man's Sky, but in there it's going to be like fantasy type quests. How are they going to generate that? How's that going to work for progression in terms of lots of players and all of that stuff? Now, I also believe that when it comes to Light No Fire, most likely it is going to be launching in an early access for PC, because fundamentally, if you take a look at the way that No Man's Sky launched, due to the lack of features and almost that, and all of the stuff that you guys might have noticed at the beginning of No Man's Sky, you can almost look at it as, a very poorly marketed early access. Because the game launched, the game worked, it did some stuff, but it didn't do everything that they wanted. Within the following years, they've patched the ever-living crap out of the game to the point where this game does way more than they've ever promised. Now, does that make it okay? That's going to depend from person to person. I'll let you have your own opinions on that. It is cautious to not be super hyped about Light No Fire, and I think it's actually a good thing that a lot of people in the community are taking that approach. But like I said, I have no doubt that the team can deliver on what they said. It's just a matter of what is their approach to this project this time around. Now, I can't wait to check out what Sean and the others have been cooking. I don't know about you guys. Let me know in the comment section down below. That doesn't mean that I'm telling you, oh, it's super safe. Go pre-order right now. Do it now. No. Take your time. Wait for reviews. That's actually a good thing. You should wait for reviews for games. Let people like content creators and media outlets and whatnot take the first stab at a game, and we'll report back. But I'm jumping in day one, and I'm going to play the crap out of it, and I think it's going to be awesome. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section down below. Thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay strong. Stay safe. Peace out.